Next, the topics what we are going to cover here is the terms of credit, the variety of the credits, then the formal and the informal sources, then we have who get what, then we have the self-help groups, then we have the importance of RBI. Now moving on to the concept of terms of credit. In the terms of credit, what are the conditions that are laid down to give a loan amount for anyone? As we all know, if you want to take a loan amount for you from any particular house, or in order to buy a house, in order to do educational loans or whatever it is, especially when we talk about the banks, you need to have a documents which provide surety of certain properties or assets or something. So these properties, assets, all will be included in the conditions of terms of credit. And these properties holding or having under your name is called collateral properties or documents, collateral documents which are related for you and it is maintained by the bank. We have an example here where a teacher who takes loan of rupees 5 lakhs in order to purchase a house, and the bank deposits the documents of the house as the collateral documents and gives loan her amount for her, and once she clears the entire loan amount, then the bank reissues the documents of the houses back to her. In this way, the banks keep as a surety and security of their money certain amount of documents which are required for them and which binds us to pay back the loan, coming under the first terms of credit. Second term of credit comes under the rate of interest. The rate of interest at which you are agreeing yourself to pay back the amount to the bank. It's like, for example, you are paying 3% of rate of interest. It is like for every 100 rupees you are going to pay 3 rupees as rate of interest. For every 1000 rupees it is 30 rupees. For every 10,000 it is 300. For every 1 lakh it is 3000 rupees. And this 3% should be paid every month as an interest, plus the principal amount also have to be paid back. This will all make the issue to be the terms and terms of credit especially. Variety of credits. What are the variety of credits? We have the variety of credits known as two forms of credits. One is the credits which are issued by the banks. Then we have the people issuing the credit. When a bank issues a credit, the credit amount will be given to the person who is holding an account in the bank, who has kept certain amount of collateral documents as a surety or for a business proposal or taken under some kind of surety. But when it comes to the other forms of credit, it is like private people lending money or taking money from the known friends, taking money from the money lenders. All these come under the next type of credits. So this variety of credits are also available for us in a place. And especially when you take the variety of credits, an example of a village. The example of a village is like, for example, a person is doing cultivation. He needs a loan amount in order to buy the seeds, in order to buy the fertilizers, in order to get the pesticides. At the same time, if anyone is running a business, in the plan of expansion of business also he needs money. And if they are having any special bulk of orders, in order to fulfill the orders also they need money. So there are variety of reasons for people to take loans. This variety of reasons bind the people to go for a credit facility. It may be the authorized banks or it may be a private money lender. This all makes a lot of difference, because when you take loan from a bank, you need to submit certain kinds of documents which are surety enough, and at the same time you will get very low rate of interest. But when you are taking money from a private money lender who charges you very high amount of rate of interest, and he also puts the conditions that if you are a farmer, you have to sell your crop back to him at very less cost. If you are taking loan from bank, you need not suffice for any such kind of conditions. So these are some of the key factors which differentiate the variety of credits. Now moving on to the formal and informal sources of getting credits. As we discussed just now, what are the variety of credits? So the terms of credit and the variety of credits together provide for us clarity on formal and informal sources. The formal sources are the income or the loans which are given by the banks under the guidelines of RBI. RBI is known as Reserve Bank of India, which is the whole and sole monetary authority of India for the banking. So the RBI regulates the banks. Under the initiative of the RBI, we have later got the NABARD, National Agricultural Board for Agricultural and Rural Development, which issues loans for the farmers in the rural areas. Then we also have the commercial banks and the scheduled banks, which are also doing their best in order to ensure loans for the poorest of the poor, especially for the farming community. These all come under the categories of the formal banks. In the formal banks, the people have to put a sign of surety for them, assuring the collateral documents. So the collateral documents are must if you take a loan in the form of formal procedure. And the next one, the next important part what we have is the informal sources. Through the informal sources, we have to take money from any private person, friends, relatives, or unknown money lender who is known in the village and lends money at very high rate of interest. And here in the high rate of interest, there is no guarantee of the conditions, because he will force us to work. If you are in a farming community, if you are an agricultural labor, you have to work for very less amount under him, or if not for no amount under him, because he is the only person who gives money whenever you require and charges high rate of interest. The second one is that we go on to take loans from the money lenders, especially the private people. They fix their conditions according to their interest. They don't have any regulatory body or authority to control all these kind of fixations, rate of interest, or etc. or etc. These are the key reasons what they have formulated and brought into context. Next, moving on, who gets what? Who are eligible for getting the formal loans? Who are eligible for getting the informal loans? For example, if you see the banking structure, most of the people who get a fixed salary or the salaried employees try to deposit their salaries in the bank or their savings in the bank. These people are eligible for formal loans. At the same time, if you hold any property and you are not even an employee of any company, also you are eligible for getting loan from the bank, because you have the supporting documents of the collateral documents. So these are the two main factors which allow us to make us to get the formal loans. But when we move on to the informal loans are given to the people who are private money lenders who lend the money. It may be a farmer, a poor farmer who can't put any of the collateral documents in front of a bank. We can't expect a small businessman who holds a small shop of making shoes or slippers cannot hold any property which can be kept as a collateral document at the bank. So like this, we have various topics or issues which cannot be done in fulfilling the dreams of banks having the collateral documents. So they all people are forced and bound to take loans in the form of the informal sources. These informal sources will make them to bind themselves for high rate of interest, because they don't have any accessibility towards the formal loans. So they are forcefully taken the informal loans, and they are also paying high rate of interest. Not only high rate of interest, but also they have to pay or work under very less wage if the money lender owns any land. These are some of the miserable conditions of the people who take the informal sources of loans. When we move on to the self-help group for the poor, now the government has come up with an initiative of new system and new task where, as we discussed now, the negative point of the people in the agricultural backdrop are not eligible to get the formal loans according to the rules and regulations of the RBI. So, the government has come up with the concept of self-help groups where a 10 women members become a team and they save certain amount of money like from 100 rupees to 500 rupees every month. After 6 months of their rotation, they get certain amount of deposit under their name, and looking at their rotation process, they lend very small rate of money, people at very low rate of interest within the group members, and these all people, 10 people, assure that everybody repay back the loan in time. So once they save 500 every month, next month it becomes 1000, the very next month it becomes 1500, afterwards it becomes 2000, like that it goes on expanding. So every month after it becomes 1000 rupees, if any lady or woman needs money, she can withdraw the 1000 rupees with the consent of the 10 members, and obviously she can pay back it every month 100 rupees with interest of 20 rupees or 30 rupees, which will make them to get profit. At the same time, the circulation of the money of the group also will be rotated, and once it is completed for 6 months, obviously that particular group will get aligned with the banking system and they get certain amount of loan package for the banks without any collateral documents. This collateral documents will make sure for the formal banking, but in the self-help group, the banks have relaxed this surety of collateral documents and made it easy for the poor women who gather, and they started to make the pickles business, they started to do the BD leaves business, the agarbatti business, the washing powder business, and they started to expand their business activities. And today, through the self-help groups, many of them have turned into a lady entrepreneurs, and they started to earn and live a very happy living according to their needs and expectations. These all have made the system of banking very close to the poor people. Another major advantage what we have for the people, those who take the self-help group loans, are the rate of interest when it compares to the informal loans or from the money lenders. It's very less and reasonable under the self-help group members, and these self-help group members have become a key strength for the society, where they conduct meetings every week and they discuss about their issues and policies which are to be changed. They are not only discussing about the financial matters, but they are now discussing about the issues which are affecting the society, which are affecting the community, and they are able to discuss and bring out the problems what they are facing. So self-help groups have become a vital groups in the community and in the society as per the latest records of study. Now moving on to the conclusion of the lesson. Who is the monitoring authority of the banking system or the financial system in India? It is none other than the Reserve Bank of India. Under the Government of India Authority Act, it was formed in 1935, which has its head office in Mumbai. The RBI issues the licenses, the rights, the rules, the regulations, everything what a bank should maintain, what the rate of interest should be there. All these things are maintained by the Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India also ensures that the currency which is in the process should be fine of quality, and people should not have any kind of disturbances or trouble in using the currency notes. And they also ensure that the value of the rupee is equally maintained with the value of the dollar. They try to buy the dollars, if necessary they try to buy the gold, and maintain the economic equality in regarding to the banking, and maintaining the order of equivalence, rupee versus the dollar. In the previous times or the previous months, we have been listening to the news of rupee falling down when compared to dollar. It is because of the deposits where we are getting less in the respective ratio of the dollars, or it may be pounds, or it may be sterlings, or whatever it is. The RBI takes the entire responsibility, sometimes increases the interest rates, CRR rates, and tries to control the inflation. In this process, the Reserve Bank of India is a key solo authority which looks after the entire financial system with a single monetary head. The present RBI Governor of India is Raghuram Ranjan, who worked as the IMF member, who worked as a financial advisor, who was in USA for a long period of time. Recently, he was posted as the RBI Governor, and this has brought a tremendous change. He has taken many new initiatives and brought the financial system into control. Now, the AP government is trying to waive off the loans of the farmers, and it is seeking the proposals to the RBI, and RBI is working out on all these things. So like this, any loan matters, any financial matters, any banking matters, all these are under the purview of the RBI. So the rules and regulations of the banking system are made, maintained and run only and only through the body of Reserve Bank of India, which looks after each and every issue of the banking very crucially. So in this lesson, we have understood what is a credit, what are the types of credits, what are the necessary documents and terms of credit, how are people eligible for taking loans, what are the other criterias, what are the other forms of taking loans. These all are the key factors of this lesson, and the role of RBI is very vital, and it is growing day by day because of the importance of the financial sector in our day-to-day lives, and the inflation growing rates are making the RBI to take the necessary actions and cut short the prices whenever it's necessary. So there are different kinds of loans, we have different categories of people getting eligibility for different kinds of loans. So the self-help groups have become a very crucial step and development in regarding awakening of the women and also development of the society, and also make sure that women stand on their own legs and they become free from the clutches of the money lenders. So these are the key concepts and related concepts what we have learned from the lesson of credit in the financial system.